How about now, Karen? I bet now you can hear me because I pushed a button that allows you to hear me.
Yep.
All right. Good morning. Yeah, I got audio now, Jim. I bet you got it now. Karen, good morning. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's coming through my phone, YouTube, so we're good.
All right. Good morning, Karen. Sometimes I forget to push this little button over here on my mixer board. What do you do?
That's what was happening last weekend when we thought the camera was goofing us up.
Exactly. All right. Morning, Jim. Karen, hopefully everything. I'm going to be in Mobridge, Karen. Here's my phone. I am going to be in Mobridge on June 23rd, 24, and 25. Fishing with Brent Chemnitz down there. So, yeah. Maybe we can meet up. I don't know if you're... I don't drink coffee, and I don't know if you drink whiskey. So let me know. Maybe we can meet for...
whiskey in your coffee. Yes.
I could do that.
Yes.
Bourbon.
That'd get you into drinking coffee in a hurry.
Oh, maybe 1 cup. Branding at Gene Osby's yesterday.
Joe Miller's. Oh,
No,
Gene Osby yesterday. Joe Miller's.
I got a message from Todd. Still that occasional set of dropouts. Are you overdriven? I'm not sure. Let me turn it down here.
Dropouts on the live side or dropouts on the streaming side or dropouts on YouTube itself?
I don't know. He said YouTube on the live YouTube channel itself. Karen and Jim, are you guys having any dropouts with the YouTube live? Let me know if you're having any dropouts. If you guys are hearing this, please let me know. Maybe I'm just pushing my audio a little bit too hard down here too. That could be. I may have it turned up a little bit hot. I just never know.
Do you have a main on that board?
Yeah, still the same.
Maybe you need to pull your main out. Well, no, it doesn't matter either way. If you pull your main out, and what happened to your hand?
It's been a long week. You can always let listeners rip you a new one. Yeah, you can. Yeah, Todd. I will message you. You can take it straight from the phone system here. Todd, if you want to do that, just call the 8889 Dakota, and I can put you on hold and lock you in, and you can get the feed that way if you're having too many dropouts. Then I can work with my audio levels in a different way here. Let me do this. Let me turn my audio down. I got my clip set. All right, how's that? Check 1, 2, 3, 4. Check 1, 2, 3, 4. Audio level check. Audio level check. Let me know how it sounds there. Karen says no dropouts in Mobridge on their system. Okay, thank you, Karen. Jim, let me know.
I guess when I'm at home, because
no dropouts on yours. Okay.
For some reason in Hazen, in certain spots, especially in town, K-Fire doesn't come in very good. Hazen's kind of in a hole.
Yeah.
So I listen either on iHeartRadio when I'm in town, or when I listen to your show, I listen exclusively on YouTube, and I've never noticed any dropouts. Okay. But
Jim down in Pierce says he has no dropouts down there too. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong up here. We'll set the levels right there. I got to call Greg. Hold on.
What's K-Fire have for internet speed?
I don't know. I haven't been there for a long time. I'm sure they're doing well.
They should be. I mean, with all the stuff they pull in there, I would think it's up there.
The man is there. If anybody can figure it out, Todd is the guy.
I heard him on the way here to this morning.
There is his number.
Test. 3.5 second delay on the YouTube.
3.5 second? Okay.
To my phone, anyhow.
Yeah. That's the spot that God has not forgot, Mr. Schoneck. How are you, sir?
Mott.
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. A little beat up from a couple brandings here, but that's what we do in this country every spring. So that's what's going on. So yeah. Yeah, well, hopefully in 35 years I'll be one of the guys watching the gate with a flag in my hand and not wrestling calves. Yeah. Well, if you can hold on 1 second here, I'll switch you over to my live side, and we have probably 3 minutes yet that we stand by.
Did Todd call in?
Todd says they have 100 up and 10 down in the studio. So that number is 888-932-5682. 932-5682 or 9 Dakota. Yeah. Good morning. That I don't know. Right. Yeah. Really. And everybody else is doing all right with it, so I'm not positive what's going on there, Todd, man. Okay. Right. Okay. Well, I'll put you on hold here, and I'll remember that line 2 is yours, so I don't click you off or anything. Don't do that. All right, man. I'll let you go here. Yeah. Yep. 06, 15, and 30 breaks, and out at 54.50. Okay. All right. You bet. Bye. Okay. All right, so we got Todd lined up here. Mr. Schoneck, can you hear me, sir?
I hear you just awesome.
Okay, good.
It's hot.
I'm adjusting it. Don't worry. I'm adjusting levels as we go. Good morning, Marley. She's the one who helped set up the system here.
Oh.
All right.
You're also live talking, Greg, you're also live on YouTube right now. We're going to start here in 35, 40 seconds. So be careful what you say.
And then he goes silent.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah.
Okay.
The YouTube thing threw me.
Yeah. They can just hear you. They can't see you. They're looking at my ugly mug right now. All right, here we go. Check. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Saturday edition of Dakota Prairie Outdoors. I'm your host for the next hour, Scott Bachmeyer. I'm also broadcasting from a little piece of heaven known as the Badlands of the Dakota Territory. Welcome, everybody listening all along the Missouri River Valley through the great stations like KFYR in Bismarck, North Dakota, KOLY, Mobridge, South Dakota, and KGFX in Pierre, South Dakota as well. And, of course, I want to welcome everybody subscribing and listening to my YouTube channel here this morning and watching it, of course, too. So there you go. And before I forget here, I'm seeing more and more subscribers with their own outdoor channels coming onto my watching my channel, too. And thank you, by the way. Appreciate that. But I want to throw this out there. If any of you that have your own channel, outdoor channel, television show, whatever, drop me a line in the chat box or send me a message via YouTube. And I'd love to have you on my show. Come on here, share your passion for the outdoors, talking hunting, fishing, guns, whatever it takes here. So sitting in the co-host chair here today is this morning, Jesse Flath from Western Frontier Insurance. And no, I don't have him here because I need my insurance guy to watch what I say, covering me with liability. Instead, round 2, attempting at branding here at the ranch. Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning. Sounds like we're supposed to have one of the best days of the week here because it's going to get super hot by Wednesday.
Super hot meaning?
Like mid 90s, upper 90s. That is what I heard.
I just hope it doesn't dry things out. We had a nice little shot of rain. We need more. Anyhow, for the first half hour of the program here, we want to welcome Mr. Greg Schoneck. Good morning, Greg. Good morning. I'll get you turned up here so you're on here with us. Good morning. How you doing, Greg Schoneck?
Hey, guys. Doing great.
Good to have you along here this morning. Now, before we talk about the fishing...
Mr. Greg, I got an upgrade.
I try to respect everybody here, but I guess I could call you Miss if that works.
No, we're doing good. We're doing good. Let's leave it where it was.
Should we get into there's more than two gender fight right away?
We should not get into that. This is an outdoor show.
That's right. Before we talk about the fishing challenge coming up here on the 22nd of June up in Parshall, let's review how the North Dakota paddle fishing season fared. And from what I heard and the pictures I saw, it looked like it was a pretty darn good season out there.
It was a lot of fun again this year. I've never been up there when it wasn't fun. However, weather does play a part in how much fun it might be. But fishing is good every year. Once in a while, like every 20 years or so, they don't get their quota. But it's just that doesn't happen very often. So we just had a ton of fun again this year. Water levels were about right for good fishing. The weather was cold, but it's spring in North Dakota. So what do you expect?
So what?
Lots of good fish.
Yeah, I was going to ask you.
I got this guy calls me and says, "Hey, can you haul my fish in?" I got there and I go, "Holy smokes, that was a 121."
Wow.
Then a little later, another guy called. I run a boat over there, and then I get to haul fish in for guys and haul fishermen out. But anyhow, a little later, another guy calls, and he had a 124. So holy smokes, for big fish year again.
So what is what's one of the largest paddlefish caught in the state here? Do you remember that or?
Yeah, 130 if I got this right. So
I mean we're talking.
That wasn't from too long ago. Just a couple years ago.
Yeah. So I mean, you're getting up in the 120. Anything over 80 pounds is pretty good size, isn't it? Or
even like a 70 is a whopper.
Okay.
So I'd say even a 70. Whoppers often are a little tough to catch, and they're a whopper for a reason. There's not a lot of those fish. So if you've got a 70-pounder and you made Whopper Club, you've got a heck of a fish. There will probably be people who will go their lifetime fishing and won't get a 70. And there's not a lot of fish that get caught in that 90 to 100 and plus range. So if you get a 90, you have truly got a trophy.
Yeah.
And if you break the 100, I have never got the 3 digits. That's kind of how they refer to that. But I have never gotten a 100-pounder, and I've gotten close, a 97 and a 98. I hope I don't have to just keep climbing 1 pound at a time. It's a fish when you get them that size. I'll tell you that for certain.
So did you get a chance to go out and do any snagging this year, or were you just helping other fisher anglers, I guess you got them? I didn't want to say fishermen.
Yeah, that is interesting. There's a lot of women get involved in that.
Yeah,
so it's a lot of fun for everybody and kids as well. So kids are maybe the most fun, but the gals that get out are just a riot as well. I did get to fish a little bit, but I'll tell you this quick story about this gal that went out. I took her and her son. Her son was probably mid-20s, and she was just a petite, very petite mother. And I thought, holy smokes, if you get a fish. And I told him when I dropped him on shore, good luck. And he said, well, I need it. He said, but my mom needs it worse, and she always brings bad luck. And so I said, well, we're going to break that right now. I said, good luck and bless you. And I left, and he caught a fish right away. Got it was in the 70s.
Nice.
And then later in the day, I come by and I moved one time, and I happened to be there when she hooked into her fish, and it was just an absolute riot. It's just like you hooked onto some like slow moving vehicle in the bottom of the river. So she is on her butt. She's got her rod that she was holding up at like the 11 o'clock position. It's now pointed straight at the fish. She's on her butt and her heels are dug in the mud, and she's being drugged a little bit, and she's trying to plant harder. So she finally got her rod up in the air, and it was just a nonstop performance of tug. and give and take. So it was a tug of war, but eventually she got it in. And I believe it was like an 84 and 86 right in there. So
wow,
those scenes are what you live for, to go down there and just watch people have so much fun with a freshwater fish that really just beats everything else, all the pieces. So.
Yeah, and you wonder yourself, you get some of these lighter people that are snagging these 100-pound fish. It must just be a crazy, crazy thing to try to get that thing in.
Well, especially if you don't pay attention to your drag. And so a lot of people are using braided lines, so they'll have like 70-pound test braids and stuff. And if you're not paying attention to your drag, you can be tightened down a little too far. And that stuff just doesn't break off quite easily. Right. So down the creek you go. So I've seen kids being moved towards the water as well. It's a lot of fun, though. So nothing more exciting than seeing somebody hook up a fish for their first time. Their eyes just light up. Their life all comes together in an instant, and it's all they can talk about is their fish.
Yeah. I haven't got the chance to do it. I know your mayor up there in Minot has done it quite often. I usually have him on the program until he started dabbling into politics a little bit too much. Now he's too busy to go paddlefish snagging, but I always wanted to get up there. I know Andy Anderson up at Scenic Sports, he always invites me up every year and wants me to come up there, but it's always during calving season, I mean, that's kind of a busy season for us.
Yeah, one nice thing though, Scott, if you ever get the chance, it doesn't have to be like a 3-day trip. If you hit that, particularly midweek, if the season opens on a weekend, you can get there midweek when they're having catch and keep days, and you want to keep a fish. There's lots of opportunity. Fishing typically is quite good, and you do not have to spend 2 or 3 days up there to get a fish.
Okay. Well, I just got to
happen quick, and it can happen quick, and I can help you.
Well, I think I'm going to try her here for next year. State record, May 7th, 2016. Mr. Darrell Lees from the North Dakota Farm Bureau sent me a text just now. He says he was helping in the cleaning station that spring when it happened. So, yeah, he sent me a picture of it. It's a monster. It's awesome.
Yeah, and it's that was the 130-pounder, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we jumped to that 130, but previous to that, we were at 120. A 16-year-old kid from South Dakota caught the 120 right at the boat ramp there at the confluence.
Awesome.
And that record then stood for quite some time at 120. And now this year and the year previous, I've hauled in several 120s.
Really?
Or above. And so I think that we have really, the fish are really matured, and we're really getting some big fish out of there in the recent years.
Well, hold on here, Greg. We're going to come back, talk a little bit more right after this break.
Dakota Community Bank and Trust is happy to serve the communities we are in. Whether it's sponsoring a local team or rodeo, helping take tickets, or having a good neighbor club loyalty event, we are thankful for the great communities we live in. Without the community, we are just a bank. Please visit us at any of our 11 locations to learn more about us. We're in Bismarck, Bowman, Dickinson, Glen Ullin, Hebron, Taylor, Lincoln, Mandan, and New Leipzig. Dakota Community Bank and Trust. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Mandan Sporting Goods, 210 East Main. You can't find a better place. Joe's with me here. We're talking personal protection. I'll tell you what, Joe, everybody's looking for a good handgun. What do you have?
Oh, we pretty much got them all. We got the LCPs. We got the LCP with the laser. We got that little Taurus. We got the Bersa 380s, Caltech 9, Smith & Wesson 38s, Ruger 38s, with or without the laser. You can get a Smith ultralight with the laser, with the short hammer if you want, or enclosed. You got Beretta. We got the new one, the Nano. We got the Colt Defenders in. Those are really nice. The new Ruger SR22. It might be 22, but it's still a good all-around gun.
Now, if you're tough enough to wear pink, I see a pistol on the side of your hip right now with pink handguards. What's up with that?
Well, that's pretty nice, but you have to be a real man to hold a pink one, but nobody will mess with you.
210 East Main. It's Mandan Sporting Goods. Stop by.
We want amazing innovations to drive progress for generations. We want jobs and careers for generations. We want American energy production that protects our land and the wildlife for generations. Today, the advanced technologies deployed by the North Dakota oil and gas producers are making that happen. And with the promise of emerging technologies, the energy of North Dakota has a very bright future for generations to come. This message is brought to you by the North Dakota Petroleum Council. To learn more, visit energyofnorthdakota.com.
Hi, everybody. Scott Bachmeyer sitting here along with Andy Murdoch from Piper's Western Team. Andy, you have a lot of things coming up. Give us the lowdown.
Well, Scott, after a great spring land and equipment auction season, Piper's achieved outstanding results throughout the entire region, which brings a lot of confidence into the summer and fall. Piper's has a lot of great auctions on the books, including antique tractor collections, farm retirement auctions, and construction equipment auctions, all being offered this summer. And Piper's will once again be hosting the 2019 Great Plains Land Expo in Fargo, featuring nationally renowned speakers focusing on agriculture and energy, land investments in the Great Plains, and mineral management. As always, you can contact Piper's Western Team at 701-523-7366 or find all auctions at pifers.com.
Western Frontier Insurance. Agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, and Wilton. Hi, everybody. This is Scott Bachmeyer, and besides being the host of Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio and also a rancher in the Badlands, I'm also an auctioneer. So if you're looking to auction off property, maybe you have farm equipment, a production sale coming up, even a benefit or a fundraiser, I'm the guy that can help you out. Maybe you're listening and you have your own auction company and you find yourself short of help sometimes. I can step up as an auctioneer or even help as a ringman. Give me a call, send me a message, 701-425-6651. That's 701-425-6651. Every hour, hundreds upon thousands of prairie dogs are being shot, flying in the air all alone, waiting for someone to help. Hi, everybody. I'm Scott Bachmeyer. Please say that you'll be the answer to an innocent prairie dog who is being aimed at. An animal that needs your help right now. Please consider a monthly gift and adopt a prairie dog. For just $20 a month, I personally will rescue a prairie dog from the sights of a rifle with medical care, food, shelter, and love. Send your donation today, and I'll send you a picture of your adopted sod puppy. This is your chance to say, I won't sit by while a prairie dog can be adopted for such a small monthly donation. In the arms of the angel. Welcome back, everybody. Dakota Prairie Outdoors, Saturday edition. KFYR in Bismarck, KOLY, Mobridge, KGFX, Pierce, South Dakota. And also, thanks for tuning in, YouTube. Good to have you along here this morning. Everybody's asking if my calves are done yet. We're working them as soon as we get done here. Branding starts right after the radio program here. So good to have you along. Greg Schoneck is my guest here out of the Minot area talking paddlefish season. Now, I want to get to the fishing challenge, Greg, but before we get there, it's something that's of concern for those that go and they love to go paddlefish snagging. You might not be able to get your fish clean next year. Is that correct? For free?
I'm not sure about that. Do you know something I don't?
Well, I thought you and I were talking that the caviar price kind of tanked, and there's rumor going around that North Star isn't going to do that anymore. Yeah,
there's probably been rumor from a year ago because there's been some concerns about that. But just as caviar prices are down, they're probably going to continue to be down just because there's commercially harvested caviar now.
Yeah.
Where in previous eras, it's all been wild caught. So here's what I would suggest. The North Star caviar is taken over now by Williston CVB, who have excellent management and have a commitment to make this work.
Good.
And they have gone the extra mile. They have gone to extra personal expense, and they have done everything possible to make this thing happen. And so I suspect that will continue to happen. And if it doesn't happen, we're going to be in a mess because nobody knows how to clean a paddlefish anymore. They have been doing it and doing such a good job for so long. Plus, it was just an extraordinary amount of waste from a paddlefish. So I suspect that it'll probably be just good to go again this coming year. And if not, people would be informed well ahead of time because it would create quite a mess. So
Well,
Yeah.
I tell you what, we have other things on the horizon, and that's coming up on June 22nd, the North Dakota Fishing Challenge, presented by the Adult and Teen Challenge of North Dakota. Give us a little bit of rundown. What is this?
Well, listen, before we do that, I have to just give you a 9-7 on the Prairie Dog commercial. And
Thank you.
While my heart was pulled, I'm just not ready to part with my $20 for one of them little guys.
Oh,
but
come on.
if you bring one home, you could send me a picture, and that might do it.
Oh, for those
you get for creativity, you get a 9-9. But you're going to have to get a larger audience if you're going to get people gullible enough to send you $20 to adopt a prairie dog. However, I believe that it could work. And my son told me that he was out in Virginia and went to the zoo, and he actually saw a prairie dog exhibit in the zoo.
They've got one in Bismarck at the zoo.
Yeah, Bismarck's got a prairie dog exhibit.
Get out of here.
Oh, yeah.
They just snuck in on their own, didn't they?
Oh, my daughter, 2 years ago when she was 5, we went there, and she did not impress people. She looks at me and says, Dad, aren't those the things we shoot? Full volume, 5-year-old. She didn't know
Target
anything.
practice. Practice.
We're really close to these ones.
So
listen, there's all kinds of fun coming up this summer, from shooting prairie dogs to fishing. So let's move back to fishing on June 22nd, Partial Bay, Lake Sakakawea. We have had a tournament there. We meaning Adult Teen Challenge of North Dakota out of Mandan. But the tournament's been going there since 2010. This year, everything changes. The whole layout, everything. It used to be a 40-boat top. Now it's gone to a 100-boat top. Here's probably the 3 best reasons to get into this tournament. 7,500 guaranteed first place, 5,000 guaranteed second place, 2,500 guaranteed third place. And it's a 2 or 3-man tournament, $300 entry fee. It's a 1-day tournament. Start the boats in the water at 6. You're off at 3, weigh in. There's going to be a meal. It's fishing for fun. And it's also fishing for a cause. So come out and join us. If you've never fished a tournament and you don't feel qualified, this is the tournament for you. The fishing there will be absolutely phenomenal. And the way you know that is, for one, it's Van Hook Arm. Everybody knows about the reputation of the Van Hook Arm. But something else to keep in mind this year, as well as the year previous, the river system that runs from Williston all the way up through to Pouch Point, that means includes Newtown, has just been on fire for walleyes. And those fish are transitional, meaning they move from up there around the state park, Lewis and Clark State Park. They move all the way down through that system, White Earth, Newtown, up around Pouch Point, and then they move into the Van Hook area. And because of that, because it's been so hot in the river, you can expect it to be maybe one of the best years we've ever seen in the Van Hook Arm. And it will just be what I call a tourist bite. You can go out there, and if you know which end of the line goes in the water, you're going to catch fish.
Sounds pretty confident, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. I'm liking this a lot.
So how far is it from...
Scott, you could even catch fish up there. I guarantee it. In fact, since we're talking about you, listen, this is going to be such a good deal. And you're just not going to be able to refuse this. So the tournament, the director actually of Teen Challenge, the executive director, Phil, and the gal that's running these tournaments, the event coordinator, Jessica, put their heads together and said, why don't we give Scott and a couple of his buddies a free entry if they'll come up and do a live show? So you've heard it right here on live radio. You have got a free entry into this tournament if you come up and do some live on the water, June 22nd. So I don't know if you can make that work. If you can't, we understand. But if you can, you will have the time of your life.
Is there can you promise me at least some internet so I can do my show from that area? Because you got to remember.
You should have cell service on the arm, off the partial tower.
You've got plenty of cell service. I can give you that.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, this might be, it
sounds like I may be needing to get that fishing boat in my driveway going.
You get your fishing boat going. I'll get my internet stuff going. Yeah.
I'll even go one better. I actually have fished that area a little bit, and I know just a little bit about where fish might be.
Yeah, I would think
so,
so.
and so I will help you figure out where to fish, because we don't want you coming in and being ashamed of yourself.
That's every day, Greg. I'm not worried about that. Okay.
Listen, and you got to put it in perspective. You are a rancher from Rame.
Yeah.
What would you know about water?
That is true.
He can't swim very good. I can vouch for that. He can wakeboard, but he better have 14 life jackets on.
I tell you what, Jesse and I,
awesome.
we're going to be talking about this. We'll put the plan together, and we will call you and see how we can put this together. That would be fun. I'd love to do a live show.
Years and years ago, I was trying to figure out how to catch walleyes, and I was just so frustrated. And eventually, I started to get a little bit better at it, and then I thought, I should just get in one of these fishing tournaments. Well, lo and behold, I got a second place, and then pretty soon things just started to happen. And what I learned from fishing tournaments just condensed. It's like college on the water. It just condenses that learning curve. You will learn so much from one fishing tournament. It will move you ahead years in your fishing education and your confidence, and you'll see what other people are doing. People are open during tournaments. They talk about what they're doing. There's just a buzz on the water. It's just a ton of fun. You learn a bunch. You have an experience, whether it's with your kids, you especially like with a 3-man tournament, you can a father and 2 sons, or a father, mother and a son. There's just all kinds of options, and it's only $300. So join with us. We got room for 100 boats.
Where do people get in touch with you here? We're almost up against our break here. Let's get this information out.
North Dakota Fishing Challenge. Just Google North Dakota ND Fishing Challenge.com. There'll be a registration place there, rules, everything you need to know.
Awesome.
ndfishingchallenge.com.
ndfishingchallenge.com. And again, 7,500 first place, 5,000 for second, and 25 guaranteed for third. So, I mean, it is a pretty hefty payout. So it's pretty cool if you get into that. It would be a lot of fun. Okay. Greg, are you still there?
I am.
Okay. I just want to say thanks for coming on the program here as we got to get rolling here. So we'll give that information out during the second half as well. Thanks, Greg. Appreciate it, man.
You bet. Thank you.
You bet. Bye-bye. You bet. Greg Schoneck. Good to have him on here this morning as we're getting closer and closer, Jesse. We're going to probably do our first fishing tournament. And then at the end of July, the Dakota Walleye Classic that we just patrol.
Yep.
We have some things to think about.
Oh,
now,
man. I'm stressing out.
Don't stress. Greg's going to help us, man.
That's true. That's true. I got some connections, too.
Okay. More coming up second half of the program. Open lines, 888-9-DAKOTA, 888-932-5682. Give a call. Tell us what's going on in your outdoors world.
Dakota Community Bank and Trust is happy to serve the communities we are in, whether it's sponsoring a local team or rodeo, helping take tickets, or having a good neighbor club loyalty event. We are thankful for the great communities we live in. Without the community, we are just a bank. Please visit us at any of our 11 locations to learn more about us. We're in Bismarck, Bowman, Dickinson, Glen Ullin, Hebron, Taylor, Lincoln, Mandan, and New Leipzig. Dakota Community Bank and Trust. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Mandan Sporting Goods, 210 East Main. You can't find a better place. Joe's with me here. We're talking personal protection. I'll tell you what, Joe, everybody's looking for a good handgun. What do you have?
Oh, we pretty much got them all. We got the LCPs. We got the LCP with the laser. We got that little Taurus. We got the Bersa 380s, Caltech 9, Smith & Wesson 38s, Ruger 38s, with or without the laser. You can get a Smith ultralight with the laser, with the short hammer if you want, or enclosed. You got Beretta. We got the new one, the Nano. We got the Colt Defenders in. Those are really nice. The new Ruger SR22. It might be 22, but it's still a good all-around gun.
Now, if you're tough enough to wear pink, I see a pistol on the side of your hip right now with pink handguards. What's up with that?
Well, that's pretty nice, but you have to be a real man to hold a pink one, but nobody will mess with you.
210 East Main. It's Mandan Sporting Goods. Stop by.
We want amazing innovations to drive progress for generations. We want jobs and careers for generations. We want American energy production that protects our land and the wildlife for generations. Today, the advanced technologies deployed by the North Dakota oil and gas producers are making that happen. And with the promise of emerging technologies, the energy of North Dakota has a very bright future for generations to come. This message is brought to you by the North Dakota Petroleum Council. To learn more, visit energyofnorthdakota.com.
Hi, everybody. Scott Bachmeyer sitting here along with Andy Murdoch from Piper's Western team. Andy, you have a lot of things coming up. Give us the lowdown.
Well, Scott, after a great spring land and equipment auction season, Piper's achieved outstanding results throughout the entire region, which brings a lot of confidence into the summer and fall. Piper's has a lot of great auctions on the books, including antique tractor collections, farm retirement auctions, and construction equipment auctions, all being offered this summer. And Piper's will once again be hosting the 2019 Great Plains Land Expo in Fargo, featuring nationally renowned speakers focusing on agriculture and energy, land investments in the Great Plains, and mineral management. As always, you can contact Piper's Western team at 701-523-7366 or find all auctions at pifers.com.
Western Frontier Insurance. Agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, and Wilton. Hi, everybody. This is Scott Bachmeyer, and besides being the host of Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio and also a rancher in the Badlands, I'm also an auctioneer. So if you're looking to auction off property, maybe you have farm equipment, a production sale coming up, even a benefit or a fundraiser, I'm the guy that can help you out. Maybe you're listening and you have your own auction company and you find yourself short of help sometimes. I can step up as an auctioneer or even help as a ringman. Give me a call, send me a message, 701-425-6651. That's 701-425-6651. Every hour, hundreds upon thousands of prairie dogs are being shot, flying in the air all alone, waiting for someone to help. Hi, everybody. I'm Scott Bachmeyer. Please say that you'll be the answer to an innocent prairie dog who is being aimed at. An animal that needs your help right now. Please consider a monthly gift and adopt a prairie dog. For just $20 a month, I personally will rescue a prairie dog from the sights of a rifle with medical care, food, shelter, and love. Send your donation today, and I'll send you a picture of your adopted sod puppy. This is your chance to say, I won't sit by while a prairie dog can be adopted for such a small monthly donation. Send your money now. Oh, sorry. Mitch wants some Waylon Jennings next.
Yeah, I saw that.
So maybe
you can go out with Waylon at the end of the show.
Welcome back, everybody. Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition, all across the Missouri River Basin. 6 states, a couple Canadian provinces. I see, John Armin's up there in Ultimate Outdoors is bear hunting.
The bear hunting? Yep.
Yeah, the bear hunting. And Shelby has not gotten a chance. Just even opportunity did not come up for bear hunt, but somebody then arrowed her bear.
That she was after?
That she was waiting for.
Oh, man.
And it went to somebody else's stand. And
that's the way it goes. That's why they call it hunting and not shooting.
That's right. Well, someday I'll be bear hunting too. But that's during the busy season too.
It is. That's tough for you. Yeah.
Want to thank Greg Schoneck for coming on the program here, and of course talking about the fishing challenge. And during the little break that Jesse and I had, we were discussing how we're going to do this. To do it's one thing to do a live broadcast from a convenience store or somebody's business.
Yep.
It's totally different to try to set it up on a fishing boat. And still do the show and fish at the same time. But we're going to give it a heck of a run, and we're going to try. There's no doubt.
I think we got her.
We'll try. I just want to make sure the stations get what they're wanting to get.
That's right.
Also, it's open lines here. Anybody wants to call in and talk about anything. Anything outdoors-wise that you want to, it's covering on your head or mind or anything. 888-9-DAKOTA. That's 888-9-DAKOTA. 888-932-5682. Is the phone number, or you can text me at 701-425-6651 right behind me there. I'm live chatting on Facebook. I'm live on YouTube. I even started a Twitter account.
Oh boy!
Can you imagine that?
I can't. Are you still limited to like 100 characters or something like that? I was on Twitter I don't know, 10 years ago when it first came out, and you just didn't have the need for it, I guess. But
well, I don't know. I started it because I wanted to enter sweepstakes in the Diesel Brothers giveaway. Let's go to the phone line. Good morning. What's on your mind today?
Morning, Scott. It's Kyle Manning down in Pier. How are you?
Hey, Kyle. Hi. I'm doing well, man. How have you been?
Doing well, thanks.
Now, this is awesome. I'm glad you called in because it looks like Jesse, I don't know if you know this. They had a rough fish tournament, bow fishing tournament last weekend.
Oh.
And I don't know if you got a friend, Kyle Manning, on Facebook, because you should see how many fish they took
on it.
Yeah, do it right now. Kyle, tell us a little bit. How did that tournament go?
Went well. We ended up with 10 teams, 34 participants. We ended up taking out 794 rough fish off the lakes.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, I mean, 794 fish. How many pounds would you guesstimate that to be at?
Well, we had a 10-foot long, 7-foot wide, 2.5-foot tall dump trailer, and it was heaping full. So we're guessing somewhere between 5,000 and 6,000 pounds at least.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I'm glad. And that's such a big thing. You think about that many fish taken out in, what was that, a 1 or 2 day thing?
It was overnight, started Saturday night at 8 o'clock and ended Sunday, 7 o'clock in the morning.
Is Kyle the one that you had on your show talking about that? I remember
Absolutely,
that.
Yeah. And the thing is,
I found the picture of the dump trailer.
But here's the thing. People don't realize how many of those fish are in there. Nobody goes after them. A lot of people, when they catch them, they just throw them back in, and golly. Yeah, I know. I seen the picture. Yeah.
We had 2 teams that really got into them back in a couple creeks. One team that won it came in with 178 fish.
Wow.
And for the amount of time it took to drive from where we met to unload the boat, load it back up and get back in, you take all that into account, they had to have been putting 1 fish into the boat every 3 minutes.
Wow.
No, yeah, that's crazy. And that's all bow fishing. How many people are on a team again? Was it 2 or 3?
We were up to 4.
Oh, you could go up to 4.
About everybody had, there was only a few teams that only had 2 or 3, but majority of us had 4.
That's great. And do you have the placings in front of you that you could give that information out?
Boy, I don't, unfortunately. Okay. Sorry.
well, I think you sent it to me. I'll do it here later on here. But yeah, that's great. I appreciate you giving a call here. So what's been happening down there? I mean, anything else big on? I see the Game and Fish Parks Commission having their big meeting on Thursday next week here in Pier. So I don't know if you partake in that or not.
Every once and again I can, and unfortunately I can't on this one.
Yeah. Jesse, you got the results?
I do. I've got, what do you want? Top 3 places?
Sure.
3rd place went to Team 7 Mini Rig. The Llamas Fencing was the $100 sponsor. 2nd place won $320. Went to team number 3, the Scale Stackers, with 168 fish. Good Lord. And 1st place went to team number 4, Just Gonna Send It. 178 fish, approximately 1 fish every 3 minutes.
Those guys sound like long-range shooting competitors. Yeah, they do. They do. Just gonna send it.
That team is a father, son, and a friend of the son. And the father woke up Saturday morning and he popped his back out of place in 3 different places.
Oh,
he was a hurting unit, but he became a man and made it all night and took the teenagers out, and they ended up winning the whole thing. And they actually won the tournament last year as well.
They did. Oh, okay. So they
know where honey hole's at.
They know where to bowfish, evidently. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. So what's going to happen down that way, Kyle? With I know they're planning on releasing. I see Lake Oahe's going to be opening up the gates a little bit and letting some more water downstream here, and so is Garrison, I believe, up by Jesse too here. So what's that going to do for the fishing down that way?
I think it's going to be a little bit rough. The Bad River has been dumping into Lake Sharp down below the dam, and that's got the water muddied all the way down to Big Bend pretty much. So once they start dumping the water out, I think it's going to throw a negative effect on the fishing again like it did back in 11. So
yeah, it's going to happen in a hurry here. I know that the dam on Sakakawea, they are starting to rip some water out of there. They were calculating what was coming in and what they were putting out, and if they didn't do something pretty quick here, we were going to be over the floodgates before we knew it. So,
yeah.
It's
Yeah, we're within, I think, about a foot of going over the emergency gates right now.
Holy
Yep.
cow.
Yeah, it's up there.
And that,
Boat ramps are, if they're not usable, it's because they're underwater instead of not in the water like they usually are.
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah, that's crazy. So, I mean, the muddier the water, and of course, we see it up here and where you're at, Jesse, on Secaucus. You're not seeing the muddy water except for what's coming in from the Little Missouri.
Right,
flying
way
in there.
Way up at the west
You're
end.
you're way up on the north side, but everybody downstream from you, they're going to be suffering the consequences of that high water. And I guess that there's more coming too. I mean, I don't know what the snow melt is coming out of Montana, but I hear that there's a lot of water to come in yet.
I tell you what, just yesterday going through Dickinson, I can't believe how high the Hart is coming through the middle of Dickinson. Everything's full right now. We've had a really wet spring.
Yeah, it's been all right. Let's hope it stays a little bit moist out here so we can make some hay. Well, Kyle, anything else on your mind today?
Just going to let you know we have there's a tournament a bow fishing tournament going on at Lake Mitchell tomorrow morning, starting at 7 through 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. We're headed for that one.
Okay.
And then next weekend we'll be in south of DeSmit at Lake Thompson. We got another bow fishing tournament there on Sunday the 9th, 7 to 3.
Oh, man, I love Lake Thompson.
I haven't been there.
Oh, it's beautiful over there.
Yeah, it's over by but what would you say, DeSmet area would be the easiest way to say it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 5 miles south of DeSmit.
So I got a fishing story for you. So when I was living in eastern South Dakota for a short spell, and there's a lake over there called Lake Sinai, and it's one of the only lakes that's you can't build around it. It's all farmland all the way around it. They're not allowing people to put houses or any of that stuff. And I did not have a quote unquote fishing boat. And I took my father-in-law fishing as he came down one time. And we went over to it would be the very west side of Lake Sinai. And there's about 200-300 yards, and there's an old road that used to go through that lake that's flooded out. And so I started there and I started drifting. I wanted to drift across that road, and I didn't have a trolling motor or nothing like that. So I just let the wind do what it did. And my father-in-law threw it in right there by the bay. I mean, it was 1.5 feet is what my depth finder said. and boom, he catches on, and he thought it was a carp. And he was not happy catching a carp. And he pulled it in, and it was a 26 or 28 inch walleye in 1.5 feet of water.
Yeah, that's what they're catching them in Secaucus right now, is in the shallows.
Really?
From what I've been told.
Golly. So
3 and under.
So it turned in from a wakeboard boat to a fishing boat
in a hurry.
In a darn hurry. You bet. So yeah, good little lake, that Lake Sinai. And people listening are telling me, stop telling people where to go. So, all right, Kyle, appreciate the call in, man. Keep me up to date anytime you want to call in and have information on tournaments or anything. Feel free to do so, man.
Will do. Thanks, Scott.
You bet.
Appreciate it.
You bet. Thanks a lot.
Enjoy
Kyle.
your day.
Thanks. So Kyle Manning, they're out of that Pierre area too. We ran into some people at Joe's Branding. We were down at Shakey's, and they're from that Pierre area.
Oh,
and they say they hear the show down there.
Nice.
And they're up here for working for the Forest Service, spraying weeds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
yeah, I get a lot of people each week. This morning I heard from 2 different people. I got one friend headed out to the Badlands. He's get this. He is training for a 100-mile foot race. I've always known that Ryan wasn't quite right in the head, but that just confirmed it. I mean, unless I'm racing
that has
to the
to
beer
do with
cooler,
the outdoors.
It does. He's going to the Maudhay today to put in a long run. He didn't tell me how far he's running, but if it's more than from here to the fridge or the beer cooler, I'm out.
Well, while we were doing the first half of the program, you seen my wife wake up and walk through the house.
She just came running back in the yard.
She's training for, I don't know, is a half or a full marathon again out in Glacier, Montana. They're going up there.
That'll be nice.
Elevation is something like just about 1,000 feet higher than the Black Hills. So it's not too crazy high, but still quite a bit though.
Yeah. Also got a message. I want to remind everybody this weekend in North Dakota is free fishing weekend.
It is.
So typically in the state, 15 and under, you do not need a license to fish. 16 and over, you do. This weekend is free fishing weekend. Any body of water in the state, you can go fish without a license. There was some funny comments online about, well, does that take the limits away too? No, you still don't be catching like 10 walleye and you're going to get in trouble. But anyhow, with that said, Mercer Peace Officers Association. They are holding the Cops and Kids Fishing Derby at the little lake north of Hazen. And our good buddy Darren Mund at Fastenal and Hazen, they donated a whole pallet of water. He sent me a picture earlier. So if you're in the Beulah, Hazen, Mercer County area, Mercer County Peace Officers Association is having their Cops and Kids Fishing Derby today.
Okay.
North of town. You can
Excellent.
get pretty much every kid that shows up gets a prize, they give fishing poles out to kids until they run out of them, but it's a good deal. Hot dogs and waters and all that sort of stuff.
All right. I have a outdoor 3D shoot today and tomorrow. 25 target 3D course. This is the Missouri Basin Bowmen are having that today and tomorrow. And Missouri Basin Bowman's 2019 Carp Classic is next Saturday, June 8th. At Trenton Lake, Little Muddy River, Missouri River, and its tributaries. So if you want information on that, you can go to Missouri Basin Bowman for either one of those. Is a couple of things I found on the Facebook.
Cool.
So a couple of events. If you have any events you want on, feel free to let us know about that. 888-9-DAKOTA. That's 888-932-5682. Jesse and I did a Facebook Live last week after we got rained out. We did have, we're working on a solar well for some cows, and we did some Facebook Live on shooting prairie dogs. And the pups are still not out.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
The pups are not out yet, which usually at this time of the year, they had their first litter. And, we were joking on Facebook about the birth control pills that somebody may have dropped out there. But
yeah,
I don't think that's the reason. But
yeah,
I think everything's just a little bit behind today. This year.
coming up through the breaks here, looking at some of your neighbors' crops and all the way up from Bowman, things are just behind.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
it's hard to plant crops when it's 2 weeks of
raining, and then the temperatures haven't been there to make things germinate and get going. So
Right.
it's a little bit of a weird spring, but old Mother Nature, she usually figures things out. Them crops will catch up in a hurry here. Especially, I did look up they rolled the forecast back. It's not going to be quite mid to upper 90s, but it will be touching 90 the next 2-3 days. It looks like.
A little bit of heat wouldn't be bad, but we don't need extended periods in that. And of course, what happens when it's hot in the Badlands?
Wind
blows, and that's why they don't call it the good lands. And that's why we're here.
That's right.
Well, I tell you what, if more people are subscribing to my YouTube channel, I do appreciate that. Is you can get on there and link in and like that. That helps me out. Also, there's people listening that have their own shows and do their own hunting. Feel free to call in anytime or send me a message. We'd like to interview you too. What do you got a grin on your face for?
Oh, I got a message from a friend of ours that says fishing license. I'm not familiar with that term.
And
although I don't know that he really goes fishing very often.
Oh, I got an alert. If you're a North Dakota resident, June 6th.
June 6th, yes.
That's next week, you have to have your applications in for deer applications, whether it's gratis or regular lottery.
Yep. All online.
June 6th.
Once again, for those of you that struggle with that online application, people say I'm not in my office, but I am. And if you need a hand, you stop in. I'll give you a hand applying for deer license.
It's not very tough.
No, it's not.
And if you go to any sporting goods place,
they're helping too. Yep.
They'll get on the computer and let you do it there too.
Yep.
I mean, that's just
everybody's been real good about it, but is this the second or third year now it's been online
this
only?
This is the second that it's online. I think it's number 2.
And last year,
I mean, they've done it previously, but
it wasn't the only way. You could still do paper
They still
apps.
had paper apps, but now I think this is the second year that it's online only.
And what's funny about that is if I have my numbers right, last year when they went online only, they had more deer applications than any other year they've ever had. And the big concern was that people weren't going to be able to apply, and people were just going to stop hunting if they had to do it on the computer. And that wasn't the case.
Happen.
It increased the applications.
Well, you got to think about it. These devices that we're holding in our hands right here, or these cell phones, I do everything application wise right here on my phone.
Yeah. My dad's late 60s and he sends me more things than I want him to. I say the same guy that made the comment about the fishing license says deer license. What's next? Are we going to talk speed limits? He is a non-licensee type of person.
Evidently.
It's wildlife. If I'm hungry, I'm going after it.
Should we send his license plate number to the men in brown?
We'll be able to see it here in a few hours.
We will?
Yeah, he's on his way.
Coming here?
Yeah.
Butch is going to come up now. He's listening.
He's going to check all the branding vehicles out. Yeah. One of these guys.
He's one of these guys don't have licenses. Oh, what do you do? We don't need a license to have fun, do we?
That's right.
That's for sure. So branding today, it's going to be a good time, and a lot of people that are not used to the old way of branding. We still rope and drag. We still, do it and it's fast. A lot of people can throw a lot of calves through calf tables, and we did with my first calf heifers. We ran them through calf table because everybody was calving. I couldn't get any help anyway.
The thing is, though, roping and dragging. Went to Schrieffer's here a few weeks ago. You weren't able to come up this year because of some other stuff.
Yeah,
we averaged 100 head an hour. You show me someone that can do 100 head in a table.
There's
some out there that
can
that are set up right.
Yeah,
but your average table branding, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah. I bet there's people that are going to send us videos of it now.
I know. That's what I was kind of going for.
Throughout the challenge.
The gauntlet has been thrown.
And now it depends on the crew you have at your rope and drag branding. I seen a smaller one that doesn't go that fast.
Well, and what all are they doing? How much doctoring? I mean, it all comes into play, whether you're roping and dragging or whether you're using a table.
Did they band them when they were born and they don't have to castrate when they're on the ground? Yeah,
right.
I understand that too.
Right.
But it should be fun. It should be a good day. Hopefully, cross my fingers, the wind isn't going to blow today.
Not supposed to. It's supposed to stay under 10.
You got to remember, this is the Badlands. Under 10 means 20 and under.
I'll put a beverage on it that it's not going to crack 10 a day.
I'm supplying the beverages.
Yeah, I know. That's why I made the bet.
We just loaded the coolers last night. They're in the stock trailer. We're ready to rock and roll here. So, all right, we're up against the last 60 seconds here. I appreciate everybody tuning in here, not only on my YouTube channel. Again, Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio's at. Share it for me, please. And not only that, but support your local radio stations that are carrying this. We say live and local, and when you're talking somebody here in the Badlands being on KFYR and KOLY and KGFX, I mean, that's a big thing for me, and I appreciate those stations sticking along with me all the time. And I know it's not always easy, much like a marriage, but we have to work on it.
Now you're getting deep. You went from driver's license and fishing licenses to marriage counselor.
You went from there to that. So, but yeah, it's kind of nice to be able to go around, and I get to meet a lot of people that come up to me, whether it's at auction sales or no matter what events that I'm at. I always run across people that come up and they say that they've heard the show or talked to me a little bit about it. So that's nice too. So Jesse, thanks for coming out, not only being on the program, but you're going to be working today. You're going to earn that beverage. I'll tell you that right now. So other than that, there's nothing. Free fishing weekend in North Dakota. Make sure you get out and do that a little bit. And
I'll get that boat ready for that tournament.
We got to get a tournament. My first fishing tournament. And this is before I go to Brent Chemnitz and go fishing.
Oh, warm up.
I got to find somebody to take care of chores for like a week so I can go fishing. And then we have the
they'll be out on grass.
Then we have the Great Plains Expo. I have to be in Fargo. I'm going to be gone a lot.
Yeah,
we're going to be doing some road shows. It's going to be awesome. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition. Check out my website, dakotaprairieoutdoors.com. Have a good weekend.